Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this time I will be talking about my upcoming games with Warriors of the Dark Gods. As I mentioned in my previous video about Vampire Covenant, I was going to step away from Dread Elves. Want to try Vampire Covenant, want to try Warriors of the Dark Gods, see which I like better, mostly. And then I looked at a lot of different Warriors of the Dark Gods lists, and I found that most of them were quite similar, to be honest. But then again, Warriors of the Dark Gods is mostly some smacky stuff and some magic to support it. So there's the amount of variation is a bit limited. But our ETC experience, we also had one player who played Warriors of the Dark Gods with the following list, and he also did quite well in the sense that he got like 75 points or something. Yeah, I think it's a really solid list that can play well into a lot of different things. So I was quite envious of this list. And I basically made my own version, and I also tried out this same list with two Exalted Heralds instead of the Chosen Lord and the other magic. But this is going to be probably the list that I will be testing out the upcoming couple of months, I think. So we have the Chosen Lord. I think this is a setup that a lot of people already know. So he has the Burning Portent with Demonic Wings. He goes into the unit of Warriors and Core, and then I have an extra unit of Warriors with Pride. I like Pride on Warriors because they give you very stable scoring at the point where you want. They're not good against everything, obviously, but I like them just as a choice. I am considering whether maybe I should go for double barbarians, just for cheapness, and then bump up the warriors to 24 or 30 even. But I don't really know about the cost of barbarians. That's going to be just one unit then. So I'm just going to see if 23 warriors cuts it, or if I need more warriors, because this is basically my anvil in the list. And then I have some magic support. I do want a master and an apprentice, or I do want double adept, but I think a master and an apprentice gives me more in this setup of the list than the double adept. Mostly because I only need ancestral aid of avocation, and all the other spells are rather useless, because I don't really want to go for snipes, because I don't want to play a very, very long game. And I do have alchemy also for some damage. I don't really want occultism because I don't really want to have my magic phase just be damage. I'd rather just be able to boost my blocks also a bit. And then alchemy is an obvious choice because of Word of Iron, boosting the warriors quite a lot, and also the Feldrox and the Warrior Knights. Glory of Gold is an amazing spell, especially in the meta where flaming is quite valuable, because with alchemy you can get reroll wounds very easily, but it also just turns off any regeneration saves of. By now it's quite a list of Death Cheater, of Trolls, of Bloodflies, of Vital Essence, Beast Herds, and Druidism. I think that's the most important ones. And then alchemy still has some utility spells with Quicksilver Lash, Silver Spike, Multicopper, just to turn around some matchups. Then we have in special, well, basically a copy of Yetro's list with the 6 Warrior Knight units with Great Weapon Sloth. I was not that impressed by Sloth when I saw it on paper, but just on the units. I played now once with the list and it feels already quite good. Double Warrior Chariot, just to remove some small units and threaten some damage. Then the Wretched One, single Wretched One, because I'm in love with single Wretched Ones. As you can see, I also put in a big block of Feldrox. I feel like the list might miss just one big combat unit, or at least it might benefit from having one big combat unit. So if we compare it against Yetro's list, he had the big unit of warriors, that's a bit bigger than mine, and he had a big unit of chosen. Chosen with pride, I tried to replace them with the warriors with pride. Don't know if it'll work. I think the difference is not too big. Obviously, the warriors have like half of the damage output of the chosen because they only put out like 16 attacks if they're a full unit compared to the 31 attacks that the chosen would do, with also better stats. So definitely the chosen are an upgrade, and the 10 chosen have 20 wounds, and I only have 10 wounds. I know. Um, but as a unit that is just meant to stick around, I think this might be a better setup. And then the Feldrogs, so I went for Great Weapon, just because I think that in general with Sloth, especially also, I will be able to grind through infantry blocks with all of the other stuff. And the Feldrogs give me something that is really, it really pushes units like Chosen Knights are gonna struggle against the Feldrogs. Units like Knights of the Sun Griffin, other armored units that are quite tanky, something like Immortals, like Infernal Warriors, big blocks of Dwarves, Deep Watch, whatever. It's all gonna struggle against the Feldrogs, whilst against just standard infantry, I don't imagine that I will have so much issues with Warrior Knights, especially. Um, and then, as I said, with Magic, I have Word of Iron as a boost for the Feldrogs and the Warrior Knights. Rod of Battle for the +1 to hit, because I will hit on a 3+ at best with most of this stuff. And then Avocation and Ancestral 8, because Ancestral 8 also gives me the juicy reroll to hits. The wound rolls are not going to be the problem with this list. It's all about the 2-hit rolls. Yeah, that's going to be my list for the upcoming couple of months. It looks way more promising, I would say, than the Vampire Count list, just because this actually wants to do stuff on the Vampire Covenant list. It felt like I spent 11.25 on core that was just plain out useless, and then just some access points on upgrades that you don't really need. And this feels way more in line with the average pricing of stuff in the 9th age. So yeah, I'm really curious how this is going to go. If you have any comments, any improvements that you already see on this list, please let me know, and I will see you then next time.